Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Toon review for the Benfica Newcastle United match review. Thank you for joining us at this late hour. We really do appreciate it. And as on the watch along, if you enjoy this show, please do hit the like button. If you're new, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. And of course, if you'd like to donate to the channel, please hit that $ at the bottom of live comments, which will send you through that way. Thank you very much. It ended at the Real Stadium of Light, Benfica 3, Newcastle United 2. With some monumental refereeing, some poor defending. Alex, we'll start with you. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit frustrated with the coaching staff, to be fair. They're obviously doing it for a reason, but I don't like splitting up our best players. So what I mean by that specifically is this is the first time I've seen Bruno not play with Joe Linton, and it shows. We lacked that physicality in the first half.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't think Lascelles really has any need to be playing after that performance. It was
awful.
There's not much point in me saying anymore. I've done it stream after stream after stream. He's just not good enough. It's not improving. It's just woeful. Yeah, so that's my biggest takeaway is that they're obviously doing it for reasons. Likewise, at the start of the second half, we looked lively and there were a few good through ball opportunities that would have been appropriate for Wilson, but Wilson was no longer on the pitch. It was Wood there, and it just feels like we've got the wrong players on with the wrong players, and Richie and Shelvey trying to thread eye of the needle balls through to Wood, that Wilson would have been perfect for. I don't understand what they're trying to learn. Obviously something. Weird game. Brilliant for Miggy, poor for a lot of other things.
I mean, the second half was really... I got quite a surprise, if I'm openly honest, because I thought, the players that came on second half, I thought, but we actually... sort of outperformed them in the second half. I thought we dug in, we attacked, we should have scored. Chris Wood, again, 3 yards out, heads it straight back to the goalkeeper, Billy.
Not just that, there was a couple of fantastic crosses that if he had swung a leg at, could have connected with
or
and
even
scored.
Attempted to get to.
He just didn't move.
Didn't even put a leg out for it. I mean, we know he can't score a goal by natural finishing, so perhaps a bit of instinctive finishing might do him the world of good. Didn't even attempt it. I thought he was horrendous up front yet again. Lots of positives, lots of predicted negatives.
What do you think of the red card? Because, clearly Jacob Murphy was fouled a couple of seconds before that was just blatantly ignored by the referee. I mean, look, it was a foul by Joe Linton. It was a second yellow card. It was a nasty tackle. But it should never have happened, should it? 2 seconds. David Smith, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. Thanks, Paul, for a great evening's entertainment. You're very welcome, my friend. Alex, the sending off should never have been.
Yeah, I mean, primarily because the first yellow card should never have happened. I don't know what he was trying to do. Corner, drop ball, booking for.
Well, why was it a drop ball? The defender headed it behind, and then another player goes down, and then he gives a drop ball to Benfica.
Because he decided the injury that the Benfica player pretended to have had stopped playing. It hadn't when they played on for another 30 seconds after.
I was willing to give the whole scenario the benefit of the doubt until 5 minutes later he tried to fight Fabian Schär and squared up.
That was disgraceful, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Wood had to calm the referee down. When do you ever see that?
Well, Schär was trying to do a driving run forwards, and he got niggled 3 times. This was 3 consecutive times. And on the third foul, Schär basically turns to the ref and goes, "Can you blow the whistle? Can you protect me? You are here to protect, And then the referee, instead of doing his job, tries to retaliate that and show his ego. And he is there to protect the well-being of the players. It is a friendly at the end of the day. And he is disgraceful for that. The scoreline, fine, whatever. The red card, whatever. But the Schär thing annoyed me more because it was the 3rd consecutive foul in the same sequence. Schär just wanted a bit of protection. Just abysmal from the referee. Disgraceful.
Tiger says Forest is going to destroy us. Owners need to get players in. We're still shite with the players we have, apart from Bruno and Botman. I totally disagree with that, Tiger, to be honest.
Block him.
We haven't seen the first 11 yet. We haven't seen them play in pre-season. We haven't seen the starting lineup. What will probably happen is, at least I hope it'll happen, is when the game's played at the weekend, the Friday night, maybe our starting lineup for the Forest game, or the Saturday. We've got, at some point in those two games, we have to see somewhat what looks like our starting lineup. Therefore,
that's got to be a joke, because doesn't he normally? I'm pretty sure Tiger normally says normal things.
Yeah, I'm quite shocked by that.
That's very shocking.
I think Joe Linton
is a lot. Sorry, Billy?
Joe Linton might pick up a ban for that red card tonight. So he might be playing in the first game.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, alarm bells should be ringing after that. We looked second best on everything. We definitely need to sign a world-class striker before the season starts.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
We didn't look second best at all.
Minutes.
The second half, we were the better team by a long way.
Yeah.
So
we always looked dangerous for the whole game. We made a couple of defensive ricks in the first half from predictable sources.
Yeah,
and always looked dangerous. So I'm not sure that's
the thing. Is we looked dangerous in the second half, but we had. Yeah. Come on, we've got Murphy, Ritchie, and Chris Wood as our front three. We're not going to score goals,
Ritchie,
but we still played well.
Some great crosses Ritchie did.
Yeah.
Say.
I said I was watching the game with Ryan, and I said we were discussing Ritchie, and it's I mentioned this in the chat during the watch along. It's a real shame that his legs have gone, and there are bits of his game that have gone as far as they have, because technically he's still got it, very much so. He's very, very good. His passes, crossing, his awareness of situations. I think he would be an absolutely very shrewd signing for anybody at the top end of the championship, because it's a shame. It is a shame, because we've missed out on what could have been quite useful to us, and he's just not quite got the legs left.
Lee says, where was the ref from? Well, he was Portuguese, funny enough. Clearly wanted Benfica to win the Eusebio Cup, but it is what it is. If we look at the first goal, Billy, comical defending, because I didn't notice it first, but it came up in the conversation later on. Lascelles completely just lost his man, and Nick Pope noticed that, came out relatively late to punch the ball because he was trying to make up for Lascelles not being there, and of course it was just flicked over them both into the net.
I think the near post defending was pretty bad as well. I mean, there was 2 men at the near post, not aware of anyone around them. I think Lascelles came across from the middle of the box to try and cover it. They're too late, didn't spot it early enough. And as a centre half, especially as a captain, you've got to spot those things early. Got there too late. Not sure what Nick Pope was doing. If he stood in his line, he just caught it. So 2 or 3 errors compounded into a goal. So not all Lascelles' fault, but a big majority of it was because he didn't get there early enough. He should have been alert to it. Yeah. But the men on the near post, Trippier and can't remember who else it was, missed, totally unaware of what was around them, and Nick Pope confounded it by coming out when he didn't need to.
Yeah, but Billy, how many times was Trippier required to do aerial things in that first half?
I agree.
If you compare that to the second half, how often did Kraft have to do it?
No, he didn't.
Little.
He didn't.
But how many corners? How many corners of the second half? 1 or 2, if that. Yeah. First half, it was a corner situation, and Trippier should have been more aware of what was around him. But Lascelles could see the whole picture and didn't get there quick enough. Which
oven chips all day. Thank you for your £5 super chat. Bonswell did really well, overshadowed by the ref and the drama. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Bonswell looks very tidy.
We also had another Lascelles mistake when again he tried to step up and completely took the player out 3 years too late again. But if it wasn't for some classy defending by Botman, it would have been another goal. He's just a complete liability, isn't he?
Especially that high up the pitch. What was he doing that high up the pitch? What was he expecting to do? You know, he's not playing offside there because it's 3 men behind him. He's never going to be quick enough to get to the ball. What was he trying to do?
But I can't criticise him for trying that, because we praise the other 3 when they do it and they pull it off.
Yeah, but the other 3 pull it. How many times does Lascelles do
I agree.
It and never get the ball? You know what I mean?
No, you're right, 100%. Lascelles just can't pull it off. And it's... Yeah, I mean, and that's another prime example as well of people criticising well, not criticizing, but people unsure about the speed of Botman. That is a prime example of how it's fine. The covering run was because Target was getting rinsed for pace on multiple occasions.
He was, yeah.
But Burn was sorry, not Burn. Botman managed to track the run, time the tackle. I'm failing to see where this lack of speed is for Botman. It seems fine. He seems more than capable to make up for it with his stride.
He reads
his
it very
reading.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Massive hats off as well, by the way, to the Lionesses tonight. What was the final score, Bill?
4-0.
I mean, considering Sweden, what, ranked number 2 in the world, I think it is.
Fantastic. Yeah, Russo goal. It's special. It's
yeah, I've seen that come up in the chat.
My neighbours were cheering, so I was having to fake cheer, pretending that I was watching both matches. It was
it's fantastic, really. I mean, it really is. I think that pretty confident they're going to go on and win the Euros, which will be outstanding. Jim says he's fuming with that ref. The first Joe Linton yellow was unnecessary. Ref must be sleeping good tonight. Gallagher says, liking Bondswell, potential understudy to target. Unsure if he's a natural left back. Well, he certainly looked a natural one tonight. He had a great second half.
Back to pace.
Yeah, definitely.
Very powerful. Yeah.
We was robbed, says Davey. Great commentary, Paul. How's the rust? I Like Coffee says the ref was probably the Mackham that Adam P saw on his flight. I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Jules says the lads did us proud. Alex looks pissed. I know who he's coming for.
In both senses of the word.
Did we really learn anything from that? Just the usual, I think. In fact, no, we didn't learn. You can't learn that Lascelles isn't good enough because he just isn't.
We did learn something very important, and that is he tried Bruno with Anderson and Longstaff in front, and that the straight away within 10 minutes we learned that there was not enough physicality there for that to work. Longstaff is fine on his own. With his recent improved performances.
To be fair to Longstaff, I thought he did okay. I thought he did all right. He played some brilliant passes tonight. And
exactly.
But I thought
Anderson similarly.
Elliot was quiet. Elliot was too quiet for me.
But they were lacking having that Joe Linton either side.
There was no balance there, was there?
Him. You can't play both of them together, I don't think. It's got to be one or the other. We missed Joe Linton significantly. But even Bruno did look to shadow of his normal self. Because we were missing that destroyer.
He looked to be sort of very pissed off. You know, obviously he was pissed off at the challenges he was getting. He wasn't happy with the free kicks that were going against him as well. I mean, the second goal was ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, the first dive to try and get the penalty was absolutely farcical. And then another dive to win the free kick. And then, of course, the score from the free kick.
It was a very good free kick, to be fair.
I had a look at that
again. I can't blame Pope for that.
No, but... Well, just Kev 04, thanks for your €5 super chat. Even Paul, Alex, and Billy heading over from Cork for the friendlies this weekend. Hopefully, we'll get to see you and say hello in person. Yeah, we'll just be right next to the club shop, next to the Jackie Milburn statue before the match. So if you want to come and say hello, Billy, you did comment that you thought maybe Nick Pope was a little slow moving across his line.
Yeah, I think he was. The ball didn't go in the corner itself, and I think he should have got it. But it was a very good free kick. He was slow to move, wasn't he? He was slow to get his feet moving. And he was just a split second too late getting there. But I think he should have saved it, I'll be honest.
Alex, you don't quite agree?
No, I agree with the first bit. I completely agree that Pope was probably not perfectly positioned. I think he could have moved a bit quicker. But I think even with those changes, I think that possibly still sneaks in. That's a difficult one to state as a fact. It's just opinion. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Could Pope have done a little bit better? Yes. The free kick was very high, so I don't think the wall could have done any better. I think even if they jumped higher, it wouldn't have made a difference. I think it was just one of those free kicks. It was very good. I think he's got to be pulling off an absolute worldie to stop that going in the net. To be perfectly honest, just one of those things.
Ricky says Newcastle Fans TV defending Chris Wood. I don't know how they can.
Anyone could defend Chris Wood. It's easy enough to mark him.
data and reasons and examples. Like, you can't just say he's fine.
I mean, defenders in a playing point of view.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how they can defend Chris Wood. I don't know how
No.
anybody can.
No.
I saw a ridiculous comment come up in the commentary saying, "Oh, he's lost his mojo."
yeah,
and it really pissed me off because I'm
Mojo.
like, when has he ever had his mojo? You know, he
did it at Burnley. To be fair, when you look at the goals highlights, he was scoring left foot, right foot, outside the box, inside the box. I've never seen that in a black and white shirt. I've never seen him come anything close to that. I don't understand.
We had two great crosses that he should have swung a leg out to score, and probably would have scored at least one of them.
There was one came from the left-hand side that he should have just drove himself for.
Yeah.
And he's just lack of belief, the lack of any sort of thinking, I'll throw myself at that. You just never know.
Exactly.
And then
he
the
could have
header
gone
from
the
3
score sheet
yards
without
out.
quality. He could have just launched himself at things and possibly got something. And he,
yeah. But
the header.
we've seen a 3-yard header from him before.
Yeah.
You know, last season, which just dribbled back to the goal. It's just not good enough. One massive plus point for me, and throughout this pre-season, has without a doubt been Miggy. He looks a different player. The confidence he's got in the penalty area is something different that we haven't seen for, let's be honest. Normally when Miggy gets the ball in the penalty area, he just disappears. He panics. But during pre-season, he's shown a lot more composure. And that second goal tonight, the first goal was a wonderfully worked goal, by the way. Longstaff's ball into Miggy was brilliant. And then Miggy combining with Trippier and then goal. The second one, to have the belief, using the defender as a shield, curling it just beautifully into the bottom corner. That's the Miggy we want to see, Alex.
That second goal had prime Mata vibes about it with the little left-footeds. That was brilliant. So I'm happy you've given me this one because I've been so annoyed about everybody. A lot of people have been challenging me on Miggy because I've been defending him and saying he's going to be integral this season. Fine. If we sign a top quality right winger, fair enough. He's not going to start. Absolutely fine with that. But he is improving. He's improved technically, positionally, awareness. Mm-hmm. He's pressing, not just aimlessly pressing. He's pressing with purpose. And it was evident from the Arsenal game and onwards. And he's continued that throughout preseason. And for the people who mentioned to me, it was just Gateshead. Well, this is Benfica. He got a first half double. So he looks fine. He looks hungry. The goals were not tap-ins. They were well worked. They were technically pretty. They involved build-up, understanding where his teammates were. They were very, very well worked goals. And I'm very excited to see what we can expect from Miggy. And whoever comes in right wing, this is great because if they're a top right winger, then
what we want.
They're going to have to play out their skin to not let Miggy play. If Miggy's doing that all the time, then
absolutely,
it's positive, very, very positive.
Ryan says, Paul, I think you've got the wrong mic on. Do I sound all right?
A little bit tinny, maybe.
A little bit tinny. What about now?
It's better. A bit more bass in here.
Yeah.
I will add about them. Miggy has looked fantastic. Let's be honest. He's pressing superb. He looks confident in the box. He's beating plays with ease. He's making some great little combinations with players around him. But let's see him against Premier League defenders. Again, a bit of consistency against Premier League defenders. If you can do it then we've got ourselves a little gem on our hands. And we won't need to buy a right winger, will we?
I do have a really important point as well. And this is about the whole Paqueta not being a right wing. To be fair, Miggy is not playing right wing. He is literally playing as a Ramdeuter. He's playing as a space investigator. He is not on the right wing. He is dropping into the 10. He is dropping deep. He is going long in overlaps. He's cutting inside. Very occasionally, he didn't do it this game, but he has been swapping sides with Maxi on occasion as well. So he is everywhere, which is exactly what we would, in theory, want from Paqueta. We wouldn't want him constantly hugging the touchline. We would want him kind of everywhere. I'm not saying that we're going for Paqueta, but this is the argument that we wouldn't necessarily need an out-and-out overlapping right winger. Miggy's not playing that way, and he's doing fine. So, yeah.
Some of the combination stuff tonight with Bruno and Trippier was outstanding. And the goal that we should have had originally, the first kind of
in the first 4 minutes,
was a fantastic move. And if he just squared it or just got it at the outside of his foot, would have been a fantastic goal.
Why was Wilson angry with him for that? By the way,
Well,
Wilson threw his arms up.
I mean,
before he even played it, like I don't know why he did that.
He wanted a square pass, didn't he?
Well, I think to be fair, had Miggy squared it, it was a tap in, wasn't it? For if you look at the replay, it was a tap in for Callum Wilson. But you know, you can't blame Miggy for going for that. Absolutely not.
Miggy played 90, gets a hat trick easy that game. He was on fire.
Wilson could die for himself, couldn't he? Let's be honest.
That's what I thought at the time. I thought, well, why are you moaning? Why didn't you just poke a leg out?
I think when he saw Miggy go for the shot, he'd already started moaning, hadn't he?
Yeah.
So, you know, Alex05, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. Love to listen to your streams at work. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. What did you make of the little skirmish on the sideline? So much for a friendly.
That was all to do with Joe Linton getting sent off, wasn't he? He had a few words to say. And of course, he speaks Portuguese, so I'm guessing it weren't complimentary stuff that he was saying.
Yeah. Crazy. Darren says, I agree with Alex. I didn't like the idea of splitting the best players. We should have started with Bruno, Joe Linton in midfield. I know it's a friendly, but we should have played the best 11. Look, the bottom line is we've got 2 games left of pre-season now, and he hasn't played his best 11 yet. I know it's all about getting fitness, etc., but there comes a cut-off point in pre-season where you say, right, I need to look at what my best team is moving forward for the start of the season, and I need to give them some minutes together. I mean, they may well be playing together in training, but that's not the same thing. They've got to be.
You'll see them play one game with them full strength, but I think it's very clever actually, because how often in a season do you get to play your first 11? I think it's very clever.
I know, but changing the full 11, I didn't agree with today. I didn't agree with changing the full 11. I'd like to have seen some of our better players come on to join the better players in that starting 11, maybe give them half an hour or 20 minutes, whatever it may be, and then make the other substitutions.
I think we'll see that under the weekend.
I hope so. I really do.
The issue is if we play a full strength against one of the two, then we're going to play a very weak team. So let's say we play full strength against Atalanta, then we're going to play a very weak team against Bilbao, and we're probably going to get pumped. So it's a weird one. It is very
plays them
weird.
for an hour. Plays them for first 11 for an hour against Atalanta, and then has them fun for half an hour. The second game, I don't see how that's any different, to be honest.
Possibly, yeah. It'd be interesting to see what he does. I certainly think there's going to be opportunities there for certain, for maybe the squad players to show what they can do against. Let's face it, very, very good opposition in both games. They're not easy games. So we'll just
you said it at the start. We looked better than them, despite having players like Murphy and Wood on. So to look like the better team, considering they finished second in their domestic league and they got to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, to look better with some of the players we had on the pitch is very flattering.
Yeah. PS says, can you please critique Anderson's performance today? Done enough to stay this season? Well, he's come out and said he's not going on loan. What did you think of that comment from Eddie Howe, Billy?
Makes sense to me. I mean, the lad doesn't take up a squad space. He's obviously going to give him minutes. The 5 subs rule. Yeah, why not? I mean, they did some bright things again tonight. Him and Maxi got a nice little combination thing going on at times, and I was impressed with Maxi as well tonight. I thought he played really well while he was on. I
thought I didn't realise that shot he hit almost went in.
Well, it hit the side net, didn't it?
Yeah. Fahad, thank you very much for another 25 Emirates D-Roll, I think it is. Paul, I have a complaint to make about membership messages. I got a 3rd special membership as a 6-month subscriber. However, every time I send it, it's ignored. I don't understand. Membership messages?
Well, he wants you to read out that he's a new member, I guess, but it hasn't come up, has it? So.
I don't see those messages, mate. Fahad, I don't see them. I don't see if you get a message for being a 6-month subscriber, it doesn't tell me. It just comes up as a new member. It doesn't tell me anything on the StreamYard that I use. So I apologize for that, mate, but thank you. Philip Schmel, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Maxi's shot that he sort of cut in and shot, I thought he mishit it, but he actually tried to put it in the near post. And I think it caught the keeper by surprise because it very nearly went in.
And I'd say hit the side netting, so that's how close it was.
Yeah, I'm going to surprise you two, but I actually didn't think Maxi did very well at all today.
Whoa, hold the phone. Hang on. I've just got to pick me. Billy, bear with us a minute. I've got to pick my chin up off the floor so it's rolling away.
I think some of his combination stuff was fantastic.
Alex, would you just like to repeat that for all the viewers? I think they've just had. I've just had coronaries.
There were so a few I agree with. To be fair, I always agree with Billy anyway. It's just different opinions. A few combination things were good. He tried a little fancy back post floaty cross and then the near post shot. With the exception of those three things, I thought he was pretty poor, and I wished I'd seen a little bit more from him. Considering
there was more play going down Miggy's side, actually, wasn't there?
Yeah, this has always been my theory that when we had a bit more energy and a bit more purpose on the right, it would give Maxi a bit more. Possibly again, he was missing Joe Linton, that physicality and I was hoping for a little bit more because there were a few times where he lost the ball and it caused quite nasty counterattacks that he needs to try and improve that. Although there were a couple of times where he contributed defensively today, where he did come back and rob the ball and he was in the right place. It was okay. It was okay. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. And obviously last week we saw Maxi drawing players, which released Anderson into space. And we didn't even see that today. Anderson struggled to find space. Maxi struggled to find space. I think we just need Joe Linton on the pitch. We really missed that physicality because Joe Linton can beat a couple. And yeah, it was a strange one. But
it was.
I liked a few of the things that Maxi did, but I think I'd just like to see him do a bit more because if he's going to kick on and get 15 or more goal contributions and play safer, then especially because today was the first time I've seen Matt Targett look like a human being as well and not a super left back, which is
listen. They're going to have bad games, aren't they? They're not going to be like outstanding 24 hours a day. You know, they're going to have games where they struggle. Now, Martin Dubravka was missing again today. Now, apparently he's injured. That's bad news for him, really, isn't it? Given that, you know, the season's 2 weeks away. And, you know, we've been talking about who may well start the season as number one. I've said all along, I think it'll be Nick Pope. And now Dubravka's injured. I think, you know, for me, and I actually thought Darlow did really well today.
Did right.
Covered it. He spotted trouble when he needed to, came out and cleared the ball. But I thought Nick Pope's save in that first half from that header was brilliant. And he got up very quickly to block the second shot. I know it was a tight angle, but it was a good block. You know, we say what you want about the free kick, you know, but again, another good example of Nick Pope's awareness. He came out and swept the ball away a couple of times when Benfica tried to play it over the top or play it long. He was out.
Lascelles wasn't in the line.
Well, no, Lascelles wasn't in line, but it's nice to see your goalkeeper aware.
Yeah, no, of course.
And straight out quickly like that. But, you know, and I said it during commentary, though. I said, you know, the goalkeeper, we saw it last season with Dubravka. When Lascelles is in that back four, it creates all hell. There just seems to be no gelling, no bond. But when Lascelles isn't there, it all seems compact. They talk to each other. Everything is very vocal and very calm. But when Lascelles is there, all hell breaks loose.
I think what we're going to see is, and it's been bared out by performances, it's going to be Botman and Cher are going to be the first choice.
It has to be.
They're without doubt the best two defenders and the best two footballers. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah. What did you think of the third goal for Benfica, Alex?
It was purely created through being a man down. It's irrelevant, in my opinion. I remember you mentioned possibly Byrne could have done a little bit better with his man. Yeah, fair enough.
I thought he was outpaced, to be honest. I thought the Benfica guy outpaced him in the end.
I mean, he's a strong number 9. Byrne's not going to win every fight. It happens. I would have preferred us if we'd have had 11 men on the pitch, though. There wouldn't have been the space to to create what they created in that manner.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be too hard on the lads, because in a real match, that wasn't a red card. So in a real match, that doesn't happen anyway as a goal. So, you know,
and also it was the only time in the second half where Bonswell was missing, wasn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't
And
know
about Dubravka as well. I think he's already lost his place. I think he lost his place last week when he didn't, come out and stop that Mainz goal. It wouldn't, even if they'd have scored that, it's not about that. It's the fact that he didn't try and close it down. It's the fact that he stayed on his line and closed the angle. And when we're clearly trying to play with a bit more aggressive keepers, I think he's automatic. I think he's already lost his place. It's definitely going to be Pope.
Definitely. Guys, if you're interested in any merchandise from the Toon Review, obviously there's mugs, phone cases and key rings. If you want them, this is where to find them.
So let's get down to business. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Let's get down to business.
So there you go, guys. The toonreview.co.uk for all your merch. If you want to go and order something, head over there after the show, and we will get them out to you as quick as we can. Gary says Lascelles came to the ball and got left behind every time. Lost aerial duels. Chris Wood did neither of them. We need decent squad players. William says, but he's the captain. Sarcasm. Norvik wouldn't have mattered if he went to Pens. Darlow could have been in goal. Lascelles is a donkey, says Ian. Happy to start the season with Almiron. Look, if he keeps this form up, this is a big opportunity for Miggy, I think, here. Because he's done so well in pre-season, he started to sort of the amount of goals he scored, I think people are taking notice and thinking, wow, you know, this is an opportunity for Miggy. When we're all crying out for a right winger, if he stays there and performs like he is, it's a massive, massive opportunity for him. Would you take the risk, Alex, and leave him there and see how he goes?
No, we need a right wing. Definitely need a right wing. I'm very happy for Miggy, but we still need a first team quality right wing to come in, because I don't think Murphy's good enough. Murphy reminds me of Dwight Gale from 3 or 4 years ago. That it's nearly there, but it's just not quite there. With runs, finishing, it's nearly good enough, but it's just not quite good enough. Fraser, again, I think is extremely overrated. Good servant, very hard worker, love him, but we need to progress. Miggy's been the only one out of those three that's shown any potential for progression and has demonstrated it very, very well over the last sort of 3 months.
Yeah.
But we do... I would love to give Miggy a chance, but we do need a first-team right wing to challenge him or play it in front of him, or we definitely still need one.
Yeah.
And the Shelby injury might just push us forward in transfer market.
Yes, very true.
Yeah. See what that is.
Matty came
Fahad says, Paul, you're not reading messages, members' special messages. I got a special message I sent above. Fahad, I've got nearly 1,200 people watching the show with thousands of messages coming in, literally. I can't read them all out, mate. Sometimes I don't even see them because they're going through that quick. I put on what I can and I read out what I can. That's all I can promise you, mate. It's not that I'm ignoring messages or anything like that. It is just impossible to put every single message on the screen. It literally is. So I'm sorry for that, but that's just the way it is. I can't put every single message on the screen. So sorry. Up the A1 says, hi, all, love to watch along. Shame they won by a cheating ref and dodgy decisions and nasty tackle and opposition. Indeed. Zishan, thank you for your $8.99 super chat. Evening peeps, really impressed with Miggy. He could have a good season ahead. Let's get Brozier in on loan and get Paqueta in also, and we will be okay. Maybe Diaby in January. Class commentary, Paul. Thanks very much, Zishan, and appreciate your continued support, matey. Rachel says, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and press the notification bell to get notifications when there are uploads and live shares. Thank you very much, Rachel. Burns shouldn't have let the bloke round him for the winner.
I don't think he had much choice.
Yeah,
He
didn't.
tried.
I mean, he could have stuck a foot out, give a penalty away, and probably got red carded for it. Was it worth it? No.
Yeah, I don't think let is the right word. He didn't let him. He just lost the duel. Like, he tried.
Yeah, exactly. Tiger says, Paul, if we lose our home friendly games, are you going to start to worry about the Forest game? I don't know. It depends. I want to see our strongest 11 before I make any decision on worrying about what's
If
going
we're
to
playing
happen.
lopsided 11s, then it's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally impossible because you can't, judging by the 11s that we've seen in various parts of the game so far, it is impossible to say, oh, I'm really confident or I'm really worried about the game because we haven't seen our strongest 11. And the season hasn't started yet. We could bring in a couple more faces. So let's not jump to all panic stations because I thought we did really well tonight. I really did. Of course, we know where we need strengthening. But that's up to the manager, Dan Ashworth, etc., to sort it out. Can we have Mandy to ref the matches against Atalanta and Bilbao? Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Leroy says, Lascelles got himself benched at best for the rest of the season. Well done, Captain. John says, would Benitez attract better players?
We'll never know.
Well, we'll never know. Plus the fact that I think, given what, Eddie's done so far and the fact that we have Dan Ashworth in now, as well as the new CEO, we've got a lot to look forward to here. We've got some very, very persuasive guys. We've got some very good guys who are proven in bringing good players in. Look what Ashworth did at Brighton, man. You know what I mean? Just incredible signings. So let's not turn on anybody and say, oh, Benitez is gone. He's the past. He ain't coming back. So there's no point mentioning Rafa Benitez.
West Ham have just announced Skamaka as well. So
yeah, I thought that would happen tonight. There you go.
Brozier? Question mark? Anyone?
Well, Brozier's there now, isn't he? He's certainly, it's common knowledge that we've been interested in him, but it's whether we go for him. I think a loan deal with a view to a permanent option might be a way forward.
We've been with everybody today. Werner as well. Draxler yesterday. Bloody everybody.
Werner's an interesting one because I'd take him in a shot, I think Werner is a fantastic footballer. Look, he didn't have the best season last year, but
he did.
Well,
he absolutely did.
Well,
his expected goals per 90 is in the 99th percentile. He just had 15 starts. He was fine.
Yeah, but
he got
fine. I know, but what I'm saying is he got a lot of criticism from people saying, "Oh, he hasn't scored enough goals" or whatever it may be. But he's just a brilliant footballer. And how can Newcastle United fans turn around and say, "Oh, we don't want Timo Werner"? I mean, he
played 1,200 minutes.
If Eddie Howe arranges to meet Timo Werner at Scotch Corner Services, you can guarantee he'll turn up at Washington Services. That's an offside reference.
Oh,
yes,
Billy,
he's offside a lot.
Yes,
although I do have FBref open. I can check that.
He was born offside.
Joshua says Anderson unfortunately couldn't get into the game. His passing wasn't in today, but he's young and the experience would have been fantastic for him. Never noticed Anderson was even playing. Look, let's not be hard on Anderson for God's sake.
Timo Werner is offside 0.71 per 90, so he's not even offside once.
It's not that bad then. But
it's not that bad.
The thing with Anderson is
bad.
It looks like Longstaff. So sometimes Longstaff's got the ball, you think Anderson's got it.
Yeah, he does. And thank you, Billy, because I said that a few times in commentary, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, that was Anderson. No, that was Longstaff. Very difficult. But look,
a lot of people got confused with the Miggy goal build-up, thinking it was Anderson or Longstaff. And
I think, look, Anderson is a real talent, and I'm not, just because I've said, I didn't think he was brilliant today. That doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be fantastic for us. There was a few players not on it. Bruno wasn't on it today. Trippier had a dreadful first 20 minutes. I mean, that throw in. I mean, I don't know who he was trying to throw that ball to in the first 10 minutes gone. He threw it straight to the Benfica guy. He looked a bit sort of off. He got into the game as it went on, but let's not come down on Elliot Anderson. Jesus. Foxy says, I'd give Anderson the first round League Cup game. If he doesn't stand out, I'd loan him out. Good evening, Darcy. Gladys says, what does Howe see in Lascelles? He fails match after match, must go with the plank wood. The wall was blocking Pope's view. No keeper was saving that. Yeah, look, we'll all have opinions on goals going in. You know, Billy thought he was a bit slow to move at first.
If the wall's blocking his view, then he's set his wall up wrong.
Yeah, you know, but, you know, it came over the wall. I thought he could have got a hand to it, but listen, he didn't. But he then made some brilliant saves, and he then, you know, he was very, you know, caught a couple of corners. He came out and did his sweeper keeper stuff. So I'm not going to come down on Nick Pope. Yeah. I've got full confidence in Nick Pope.
At least he wasn't wearing 99 like the Benfica goalkeeper.
Oh, I did mention that in commentary that it wasn't your favourite number to play, Alex. So
there was an 88 as well, was their goal scorer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Freaking
mental.
Days, those numbers.
Are you guys worried for the Forest game after that performance?
No.
Larry, I think you're having a mare, mate.
Nottingham Forest are not Benfica. Calm down. They're not in the Champions League.
I know. It's unbelievable. Minnesota Mag says Murphy is not good enough. Longstaff lost his man for the first goal. J7 normally in that position doesn't get manhandled like that. I think you made the point before, Alex, about that. Just that, you know, that's where we missed Joe Linton in that first half. Just he doesn't get thrown around like that. Marriage says, let's hope Eddie and Dan get Zapata to stay over after the Atlanta friendly. Well, Atlanta, you've put Atlanta there, Marriage. You've had a mare. Atlanta are a good side, and Zapata is a great player. And, you know, whether anything happens from that, that's up to Newcastle United.
You're right on that as well. You mentioned that they think it's the links with Zapata are basically purely because we've got the friendly, and a couple of journalists have said exactly the same thing. They think that we're only talking about his name because the friendly is a supposed audition. Everybody seems to concur that there's nothing concrete. It's just purely based on the friendly. So we'll see.
Tiger, I really don't know what game you're watching, mate. Everyone needs to start worrying for the Forest game. Forget about fitness. We're playing shite.
I'll tell you what the concern is for me is none of our forwards are scoring.
Yeah, that is the concern. And I think that's been highlighted throughout the preseason, Billy, is that, you know, it's our midfielders that are doing most of the legwork, scoring goals, especially Miggy. So, yeah, it is a worry. Callum Wilson hasn't taken off yet, and Chris Wood is just not a striker. So
I think this marquee signing is, I think we need to bother less about the marquee signing being on the wing, and we need it to be a striker, to be fair. Bring it. We've been linked with a few of these young ones. We've got a few to talk about on transfer shows, these Kamaldeen, and there's a few floating around, but goals.
What do you think of this one? Give Munoz a go. Instead of Chris Wood.
He was taken, wasn't he?
So, yeah, he's over there. Yeah, I find it annoying.
Why take him if he's not going to play?
Perfect opportunity to give him a shot. You know, just give him the second half against Benfica. We know what Chris Wood can't do. So, you know, bring on Munoz, give him an opportunity.
That was a very hostile atmosphere, wasn't it? And Eddie Howe does try to integrate players slowly, like with Bruno. So if Munoz plays half an hour and does awful, that could break him. That was a very tough stadium to play.
But Alex, you can't do any worse than Chris Wood.
I agree. But Chris Wood doesn't seem to care whether he plays well or not. He just is impervious to criticism.
We have Wood up front. It's like we're being a man down. We've got a man down. It's as simple as that.
We remember what Joe Linton was like when we did knock his confidence. He really struggled. It's taken a lot to get him.
But somebody made that reference in the watch along show, and I. You know, saying, "Oh, you know, look at what it did to Joe Linton." But Joe Linton wasn't a striker. This is the difference between him and Chris Wood.
No, that is true.
Joe Linton is not an out-and-out striker. So,
but I just mean,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
generally,
absolutely, but
because he is young, he's still very young. He's a Mexican in a foreign country. He's halfway across the world. You know, Mexico to the UK is a big jump culturally.
But we've got to give them a chance at some stage, Alex. We've got to put them in at some stage.
Yeah. No, agreed. Maybe not. Maybe I would have liked to have seen them possibly away from home at 2-2. That was a.
I would have maybe liked to see him play against 1860 Munich, to be honest, or Mainz. You couldn't see one of the games in Austria.
In the stream view, but there were a lot of flares up on the top stands as well that were going off. It was a very hostile atmosphere, to be fair.
It's just a shame. But, we know that Wood's not going to be he's not the answer. But we have to see it's going to be interesting now between now and the weekend to see if we make any moves on players because, surely if we want to bring in a player or two, now is the time to do it to get them some sort of match against Atalanta or Bilbao at the weekend rather than wait till the Premier League kicks off.
Did Ashworth go to Portugal or did he only go to Austria?
No, he's in Portugal.
He's in Portugal as well.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. But there you go, guys. That is the review show. I realise it's 10 to 11. It's getting very late. I've been on since 7:45. I'm bloody knackered. But thank you so much for everybody that's joined us. I mean, the 1,500 in the watch along, 1,200 tonight, in the review is absolutely incredible. Thank you to every single one of you for tuning in. Every single one of you for the super chats tonight. So generous. Thank you to the mods as well. The mod squad have done an absolutely remarkable job tonight in the watch along and tonight in the review show. You are absolute stars and I love you all. So thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you, Billy and Alex, for coming on so late. We'll be back. Our next scheduled live show will be Thursday night. It'll be a transfer show because, as Alex says, we've got some players to go through that have been linked. But hopefully by the time Thursday night comes around, we may be in talks with a player. We may have medicals. We may have surely something to go on. But if not, we'll go through the players that have been linked. We'll have a look at the stats and we'll see what they'll bring to the team. But if anything does break before then, of course, we'll bring it to you here on the Toon Review, either live or a recorded video, just to let you know the latest news. But thank you very much. If you have enjoyed tonight, guys, please hit the like button. It does help build this channel and let YouTube know that we are stupendous. And also, if you're new and you like what you see tonight, please do hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, which will then basically let you know when we upload or we go live. But thank you to everybody that's watched tonight. You have been absolute stars, all in the chat. I hope you've enjoyed both shows, and we'll see you Thursday night, if not before. Good night, guys.
Away the lads.